Yo, what's going on with y'all? It's your boy NeoXO coming back at y'all with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Black Clover chapter 307. Now with that being said, let's get right into the video. Starting off this chapter, we pretty much have Zenon and Beelzebub in kind of a headspace, and Zenon pretty much goes to Beelzebub and he's like, give me the heart of a devil. And we see in typical devil fashion, like he's loving that. Beelzebub is loving that because usually whenever these humans make deals with the devil, it's like the devil has leverage. So now that Zenon is pretty much about to die, this gives Beelzebub a lot of leverage, to the point where he's like, okay, what are you willing to give? And he has so much leverage over Zenon that Zenon is ready to give away his soul. And the reason he wants to give away his soul is because he believes that no matter what, he must protect the Spade Kingdom. And this does go with his character from what we've seen, because in the past he did sacrifice Alan. Now, from Zenon's perspective, he thinks that sacrifice is necessary because we know that him and Alan were actually friends. Now, him and Alan being friends kind of is what made him power up or get stronger, because similarly to Asta and Yuno, Alan and Zenon used to train, but when it came down to it, their training wasn't enough, because whenever they were faced with a devil, they were not able to win the battle with their training alone. Ultimately, Zenon had to sacrifice Alan. And I seen the comments, like I read all of the comments. Last video that I made talking about this subject, a lot of people were saying that Zenon was weak for having to sacrifice his comrade. And I kind of agree, but you know, to Zenon's point, Zenon is not going to agree until proven otherwise. So Zenon, from his perspective, Alan was a necessary sacrifice, and from his perspective, also giving away his soul was a necessary sacrifice in order to save the Spade Kingdom. Now, Yuno is pretty much looking at Zenon and he's in disbelief that Zenon is still standing. And the reason for this is, you know, Beelzebub accepted the deal. So now Zenon has the heart of a devil. Now, speaking on the form really quickly, this form looks amazing. Like, this looks like a full devil, and it's further, like, you know, giving that feeling whenever Yuno even says it himself. He's like, this sensation is pretty much just like Zaggard, and this right here is pretty much like a devil in the flesh. I don't think this is the manifestation of Beelzebub. I think this is still Zenon. I think Zenon, you know, Beelzebub just gave Zenon his power, but I don't think this is Zenon himself. Like, kind of like Magicula, whenever it was her, it was kind of like Magicula herself. It wasn't Vonica. I think this is Zenon, but this is like Devil Zenon. So it's crazy that he decided to just straight up fully become a devil. And this might go into the lore more, because now we're seeing someone turn into a devil. So it seems like devils could possibly once have been human, and I know the theorists are going to eat this up. So like, this is some more evidence. If anyone wants to, you know, come up with a theory or go off of this, it seems like Zenon is turned into a devil, and maybe that's how devils are born, from, you know, just giving up their hearts and their souls for a cause or something. But now that he has obtained the devil, he's pretty much unstoppable by Yuno. And this is another thing I want to touch on from the comments. Y'all leave comments, because I do read the comments and I do respond to a lot of them. I say I respond to like 90% of them. Some of them don't warrant a response, you know, if it's just like a comment. But like, if it's like something that, you know, leads to a discussion, I'll definitely discuss it. Like, I'm discussing this right now. A lot of people were saying Yuno was gonna win, and I was just like, no, I'm not gonna lie. Yuno, I knew for a fact Yuno was gonna lose, because whenever Asta got his deal with, you know, Libe, he had a massive power up. Now, what did Asta give? Asta gave away his arm. Now, in this case right here, Zenon is giving away, Asta gave away his arm, and he had an insane increase in power. He was able to permanently damage the body of Dante, and Zenon gave away his entire heart. All right, so giving away his heart is definitely gonna increase his power a lot more than Asta giving away his arm. So I just knew there was no way that Yuno was gonna win. I feel like people sometimes like a character so much that they think that they can never lose. Just because you like a character does not mean that they can't lose. Like, you know, characters lose. There's people that's going to be stronger than your favorite character. It just is what it is. And at this point right now, this devil form Zenon is stronger than Yuno. And if you guys don't believe me, just going a little bit further into the chapter, we can see Zenon pretty much puts Yuno in a space similarly to the first time. This is a parallel of the first time they actually fought. I don't know if this is intentional by Tabata or not, but it just is. So similarly to the first time they fought, Yuno is put inside like the space, Zenon's spatial magic, and the kind of like the cube, and then Zenon proceeds to like pretty much barrage him with bone magic. Now Yuno of course tries to fight this off, but he's just ultimately overpowered. And looking at the panels, it didn't seem like Yuno got hit in any vital organs, so Yuno will definitely, going off of this, Yuno didn't get hit in any vital organs, so I think that he's going to get back up at some point in time, because if Tabata wanted Yuno to not get back up, I think he would have got hit, you know, more clearly in a area that's vital, such as, you know, like going for the head or going for the heart. But he didn't get hit in any of those areas, so he's pretty much just down for the count right now, and there's still a possibility Yuno gets back up. And you know, people who wanted Yuno to win this fight, he's still not dead, so he's you know, given an opportunity, kind of like similarly to Asta whenever Asta was fighting against Licht, and Licht put him down into the water, and then he was down for a little minute, but then he got back up. Something similar could happen, and you know, he could just get back up at some point during this fight. But as Yuno is down, you know, Zenon switches his attention over to Langris, and he's pretty much about to take out Langris. But what ends up happening is Langris is teleported to a different location pretty much faster than Zenon can even react. But Zenon quickly realizes what's going on, and he remembers who Finral is. So that's really impressive that Finral is being remembered by the strongest spatial magic user we have ever seen. You know, Zenon knows who he is, so that says something right there, because, you know, Zenon doesn't, you know, remember everybody who he ever defeated. Now, going further into this chapter, we see a little bit of dialogue from Langris and Finral. I actually like this dialogue. Langris is pretty much saying like, "Hi brother, you're here to save me again." And this is just like probably eating Langris up inside, because it seems like, you know, Langris just always thought he was the best, and now just lately he's just been getting humbled. He got humbled by Yuno, and it looks like he's getting humbled by Finral. And this is just all a part of the process. This is just all a part of Langris's character development, and I think it's really good for his character in the long run. I think he's always going to be like kind of snarky, but I think in the back of his head he's going to be humble, you know, even though his personality might say otherwise. And Finral just comes right on time. He teleports Langris out of the way, and this is what he's supposed to do. A lot of people compare Finral and Langris. They even compare themselves sometimes, and they always count Finral out because, you know, Langris just was the prodigy or whatever you want to call it out of the two of them. But Finral is more caring, and, you know, sometimes in Black Clover it seems like raw power isn't the only way to win, you know, because Finral cares for his brother, so he's not gonna let, you know, people just push around his brother. And going on even further, he also cares for Captain Yami, so he's like, all right, I gotta do something about this guy right here, because he's the one who kidnapped Captain Yami. So he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna fight off against Zenon. And I think this is part of his character development too, because if you guys remember, in the beginning of the series he was kind of cowardly. Now he's going up against Zenon with pretty much no fear, and we pretty much get a cool pose with Langris and Finral, and they're pretty much going to be fighting against Zenon together. We see Langris using his Mana Zone to work in coordination with Finral. They're working together, and it's just cool to see like this Mana Zone inside of Zenon's absolute space, and then Finral using his angel spell. That is pretty cool. That basically, you know, it's a teleportation spell. He could teleport people, and I'm pretty sure he has some more magic up his sleeve. pretty good chapter in my opinion. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and leave it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's been your boy NeoXO, and I'm out.